when in my heart I know the magic is my love for you.
You see, I love carrots. My admiration for carrots started when I was very young Sealz. None of the kids in my class liked carrots, but I did. Maybe it was the texture, maybe it was the nice color, or maybe it was because everyone in my class didn't like them, so I liked it. When I grew older, my like for carrots turned into love. But let's get something right here. I have a love for carrots, but I also understand there is a different type of love when it comes to people. And today is part 2 of understanding the emotions of good men, decent men, solid men, in which we will be breaking down love. Love is one of the most powerful emotions that a man can feel. Yet most people misunderstand how men express it, experience it, digest it. Is he in love or is he just attached? Is he in love or does he just like me? So today I'm going to talk about how decent men experience love, how we show love, how we receive love, how we digest love, and why our love language might surprise you. So similar to my first part in this series, I'm going to break down love in 4 sections. And the first section that I'm going to decipher is how good men experience love. Society often portrays men as less emotional, less lovey-dovey, less expressive in this. But the truth is, good men love deeply, even if they don't show it in obvious ways. Because for many men, for many decent men, love isn't just a word or a sequence of words or a term. For a lot of us men, love is in the action, the work, the show. What we do is how we express our love. We may not always say I love you every day, but we prove it through what we do. For an example, a lot of men live this type of lifestyle where a man who fixes things for you, protects you, shows up when you need him the most, being dependable, taking his PTO and taking a day off to help you with something, an emergency. That man is expressing love in his own way. A lot of times women will misconstrue a man's level of love or how much she thinks he loves him because he doesn't verbally announce it a lot. But that is not necessarily true, because just how I just described how a lot of men are in this, constantly saying it does not truly represent how much they truly love you. It is what they do. Now, the second section that I want to talk about when it comes to love in the mind of a decent man, and that is how good men show love. In the first section, we talked about how differently men love than women, but now we're going to talk about how we show it. The first and most popular one is through protection. A good man naturally wants to protect his woman, his children, his loved ones, and even strangers who can't fend for themselves. A decent man is an overall protector. He wants to keep his loved ones safe, not just physically, but even emotionally, mentally. He wants to cover all these bases when it comes to your protection. And he takes pride in that. No true man is going to complain about protecting. The second way that a lot of good men show their love is through providing and supporting. And this does not always mean money or financially. It means being dependable. Is he there for you when you need him the most? Is he there for you when you don't need him? Showing up when it counts. Offering help. The initiation, the effort, the put in, the investment, is that there? With decent men, that will be. To be able to provide and support you shows that we truly love you, because we do not want anything to go against you, to harm you, to hurt you. No man is going to complain about doing those things. The third way that a man shows his love is through presence and consistency. Now, I want you to realize this. I say these two things, these two terms, these two words as a pair. Be paired together. There must be presence and consistency, because you can be present, but maybe you're present sometimes. Maybe you're present once in a blue moon. But when you are present and consistent with that presence, that is a true expression of a man's love. He doesn't just love you on the good days. He doesn't just love you when the sun is shining bright. He doesn't just love you when you get a bonus check. He doesn't just love you when you're able to give him something. He's there always and consistently. So he's not only just there on the good days, but he's there on the bad days. He's there through the ups and the downs. He's there. So one thing I want y'all to understand is to never confuse love with a man who is there sometimes, who is present sometimes, who is only present when it benefits him. True love is consistent love. And that is what decent men truly believe in. This last way that decent men show their love is a tricky one, because it involves both partners and it involves the quality of both partners. And that is these sacrifices. A decent man will sacrifice for the things he cares about, the things he loves. Now, the reason why I feel like this is a tricky situation, because it depends on the partner. Because a man can get taken advantage of this expression of love. For an example, a man who puts your happiness before his own is sacrificing, often in ways he may not even notice. But when you are sacrificing for the wrong partner, the wrong woman, the wrong person, you can truly get messed up. But a good man is not thinking about that. That man loves you. He loves this woman. He's not thinking about what if she's not for me? What if she's a bad person? What if she has bad intentions? A lot of men are not thinking about that because they love this person. Therefore, they are willing to sacrifice. But when that man is with the right partner, the right person, the right woman, sacrifice can be a beautiful thing. And one thing about sacrifice is it's not always a bad or a dark or a complicated thing. Sometimes a partner or a woman can make us sacrifice things that we need to sacrifice in our lives. Our old ways, our old habits, the things we used to do, the vices that man have been dealing with back in the past. A good woman, a good partner will deter him from those things. That is also love. But when that man sees this, when he appreciates this, when he accepts the fact that his partner is trying to help him, he is willing to sacrifice those things, those old ways, those old lifestyles for their new life and for their future life. And that is love. Now, the third part I want to talk about when it comes to what love looks like in a good man, a decent man, is how good men want to receive love. Now, this is on you. So the first thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to this, how a good man wants to receive love, is respect matters more than you know. I remember growing up, I used to hear a lot of men say, I would rather be respected than loved. And that is a common mindset amongst a lot of men. Because in our minds, respect truly shows what you feel about me, what you feel about my potential, what you feel about my ability as a man. When you respect me, you understand what I'm about. You appreciate or you acknowledge who I am and what I can do. A lot of men will rather have that than love. But it gets even deeper than that, because sometimes men have been through love and they've been betrayed, or men have been through love or in love and their trust was violated. So a lot of men feel that respect is stronger, heavier, sturdier than love, because once you respect me, it is in my power to lose that respect from you. With respect, a lot of men feel that they have more control over that than they do with love, because once you are in love, in a lot of men's mind, you lose control. You do things you've never done before. Because you love someone so much, there are no boundaries. So a lot of men would rather be respected than loved. But bringing it back to relationship wise, when you are with a decent man and y'all are both truly in love with each other, he wants your respect as well as the love. Good men also want support and encouragement. A good man appreciates a woman who believes in him, believes in his goals, believes in his crazy ideas. A woman who motivates him, encourages him, supports him, because there is no better cheerleader than you. Y'all are in each other's faces every single day. Y'all talk to each other every single day. Who better than you? And it's funny because you can receive the same compliments or the same encouragement from your coworker or your manager or your friend or a stranger, but let your woman or let your partner say that same thing to you, it hits differently because it is coming from you. Another way that a lot of good men like to receive love is through the simple things. Yes, the simple things. I appreciate you. You're doing a great job. Love your haircut. Small gestures go a long way, more than you even know. We remember those small gestures. And I'm going to tell you something about me. I'm not even big on big gestures. I'm not big on celebrations. I'm not big on my own birthday. I'm not really big on attention. I'd rather not have it. This is the most attention that I appreciate. But these small gestures, the authentic, slight gestures, are the ones that have staying power. Never underestimate the small gestures that you send to your man. You never know how that can affect his day. And the last one I'm gonna talk about when it comes to what good men like to and how they like to receive love is emotional safety. Real talk, he needs to know if he can be able to talk to you, if he can be able to open up with you, if he can be brutally honest with you, if he can be himself around you without being judged or ridiculed for how he is, his true personality, whether it's silly or geeky or nerdy or awkward. He wants to know if you're able to accept him for who he is and that he can be himself around you. Emotional safety is important when it comes to men. A lot of men are not going to tell you how they want to feel safe around you, what safety looks like to them, but they still want to feel that. They want to feel that type of security with you. If y'all plan on being together forever, if this is a forever thing, then he has to be able to trust you emotionally. Relationships without emotional trust do not last long, and they are doomed to fail. When he's able to tell his boys, his homies, his crew, like, yo, man, I'm able to tell my woman anything. We able to talk about everything. She doesn't judge me. She doesn't ridicule me. She is my best friend. When he's able to say things like that, that's real. But that's also real love. And that's what he wants to receive from you. Now, the fourth section that I'm going to talk about when it comes to love with decent men, good men, is what breaks a good man's heart. Well, this is important to know because you want to avoid this. And sometimes you don't even realize that things you do can break a man's heart, whether he expresses it or not. A lot of men are more sensitive than you think. And the first one I'm going to talk about is feeling unappreciated. When his love is taken for granted, he will start to withdraw. When he does things for you out of the kindness of his heart, and there is never any thanks, he will start to not do things for you. When it feels like you're not being grateful, when he's trying his best in something to impress you or do for you, he will start to grow cold. Feeling unappreciated will break a man's heart because it will make him feel like he is less than, not enough. Especially, this is something you want to avoid, especially when you compare him to other men, your friend's man, your ex. That intensifies this feeling of being unappreciated. So avoid that. The second way that a good man's heart is broken is being used for what he provides. Like I told y'all earlier in the video, we take pride in providing. So if he feel like he's only being valued for what he can provide for you, if he feels like you only value him for what he does for you, if he feels like you only care about what he has and not who he is, that can definitely break a good man's heart. Because now he feels like the way he loves and expresses his love through providing is being abused by a woman he thought he loved. And let me tell you something, this can send a crack throughout the rest of his life. It is just not a good thing. Now this point is an interesting one in a way a good man's heart can be broken, and that is emotional distance. So in emotional distance, this is when man gives or is constantly giving love to his woman, but not receiving it in return. That same energy that he is giving her is not being reciprocated. This will make a man shut down. Because I already told y'all, and a lot of y'all already know this, a lot of men keep that love inside. It's a struggle for them to let it out. But once they feel like they have a woman that they can trust, emotionally trust, that they can see themselves being with forever, once he feels that, then he is able to express that love freely, fluidly, without regret. But the last thing you want is for him to regret letting that love out by you being emotionally distant. And I'm not saying every day is going to be a good day. Some days are going to be tough. Sometimes there's going to be arguments. But especially on those tough days is when you have to show love the most, when that love has to be there. Because those are the moments, those are the days that can break a relationship if it is not truly founded and standing strong. So being emotionally distant can cause a lot of problems. But in a man's mind, it can start creating doubts, questions, things that aren't even real. Like I talked about in the last video, it can create fear. So my suggestion is that when your man is showing you love, especially if you know he struggles with expressing love, appreciate it, value it, reciprocate it, because that will make him more confident in expressing his love to you. And that is a beautiful thing. So as much as y'all understand how much I love carrots, I hope this video helped y'all a little bit more in understanding. My goal is to have this video help y'all just a little bit more in understanding your man's love or any man in your life's love and what it looks like to them, how it feels to them, how they digest it. And if you are enjoying my series and understanding the emotions of good men, decent men, continue to ride with me. The next episode of this series, I will be talking about a hot subject, and that is anger and frustration in men. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for being here, and I will see y'all in my next episode. Peace and blessings. Goodbye. Love. Through all the ups and downs, I choose her. Love. For better or worse, I still will choose you first.